And we are live! India versus Pakistan. Finally, the one match that led to all the problems in this World Cup, it's finally here on October 14th.
The match that could have been tomorrow is being played today.
It's coming one day early, along with 8 other matches being rescheduled.
But 5 matches in October, 4 in November.
Let's not discuss the problems related.
No, we have to discuss the problems.
Don't think of tomorrow. Don't think of tomorrow as a reserve day. We are not in the Asia Cup anymore.
Exactly. Arey, what reserve day? There is no rain anticipated.
There is 10%.
There is
10% chance.
India has been taking bringing
the
rain with them.
There is a rain. I won't call it a threat. Let's say a rain scare, maybe half a scare.
Towards the evening. Don't worry. That'll be towards the evening time. It won't rain at this time. Towards the.
I hope it rains at night when the match is done with.
I hope so.
Like it happened at the WTC final. It rained immediately, like half an hour after we got done with the show. I remember it started to drizzle a bit. So India had lost half an hour show done, and then it, you saw some pitter patter.
Even in the Asia Cup, if that match wouldn't have ended that early, it rained
the final. Remember, you got Sri Lanka out early. Otherwise, 2 hours after it was done, it was not just raining; it was torrential downpour.
Exactly.
Yep. True. But anyway, look, there is no reserve day, and you are not going to have 3 hours or 4 hours later like the IPL or all that farce that you're going to have.
The 2-day final.
Yeah, you won't have a 2-day final, or you don't have a 2-day one-dayer.
You know what you will have though?
In the semi-final.
No. You will have pre-match ceremony, and you'll have a mid-inning ceremony.
Just a ceremony for this match.
Started yet?
No,
it would have started, but this is where I just have to say it. Like, I mean, I've seen it happen in FIFA World Cups also, whereby obviously sometimes in the group stages you'll have these big matches, or in the knockouts. You'll never see a ceremony being held in the middle of the tournament just for that one match.
In fact, shouldn't you mind playing the ceremony on one of the screens?
But as the ceremony started, it should have started at 12:40.
It should be because in another 20 minutes we'll have the toss. So
they need time to clear everything up and stuff. So I think it would be done with. Not that I was very interested in what the offerings were.
But one thing, as we build up, and of course so many of you guys joining us as well as we build up to this match. Siddharth, why did you choose to play neutral today?
I'm always neutral.
Said who?
Said me. Says me. Only I matter. No one else matters.
Are you Dilulu?
Are you Bopade Dada who's doing every single time? From Akhiyon se goli mare. All this.
What makes you think that we believe you and those family members of ours?
No one believes
us company for all these months and years now.
I am important as to what I believe in. See, neutral in the sense, I don't have a blue like what Shane.
The one day you were expected to stay true to the color. You haven't. You're true to the color yellow on most days.
Yes.
The one day you should have stayed true to the color blue. That day you decide to play neutral.
But I don't have a blue.
No, you do.
Which blue?
The dark blue.
Yeah. No, I don't have a dark blue. That formal I look like a corporate salesman if I have that here.
Because of your consistency with the color yellow, we have to think every time before coming to office whether we wear yellow or not on days that you're working.
Exactly.
We look out for that one day when you're off. Shane and I, it's between the two of us. We look out for that one day to wear yellow to office. Today was that one day we thought we'd all be color coordinated for the right reasons.
Okay. Even he's not color coordinated.
I'll come to him later.
Because look, I don't have a blue. I couldn't wear a green. I can't wear an orange. What other color do I have left except
orange would have been better.
No. Orange will be for the England game. Remember, they might be wearing that orange.
No,
that's not happening.
Not happening.
Adidas have already confirmed. That was 2019. That's not happening.
Okay.
That was done.
Let's not.
Yes, what?
Give it to him.
We have an instant jugaad for you.
No, I am not wearing that jersey. I can't.
You can hold it, for everyone.
Yeah, you can hold it.
You can hold it. Give it to the younger member of our team. Give it to him. He's made his debut. He needs this occasion. Let him wear it or let him hold it. Because see, I don't have a blue, as simple as that.
Let's just show it to everyone. We do have an additional jersey here, which Siddharth for some reason doesn't want to wear. But
I can't wear it because it's also not my size.
It is. We'll talk about this.
It's about this particular individual.
It's about this 24-year-old who dons the number 77 Indian jersey for India.
He's returning to his sentinel, by the way.
Yeah.
Ahmedabad Narendra Modi Stadium. He always has a great record there. Be it tests, be it IPL, be it T20s, be it ODIs, he has a phenomenal record there.
Excellent record. So I think you'd definitely be wanting to, let's say, if he's playing, and every sign seems to be pointing towards him playing 99%.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get to the nitty-gritties of all these kind of things, okay, starting from Shashwat and I'll go until Shane. What is your favorite India versus Pakistan moment? Considering it's 7-0.
Before we get there, how about we do a quick poll?
For the viewers,
For our viewers, for our family members.
Yeah, we can also answer because of course.
Then, of course, what should be the most obvious way? Are we looking at an upset here? Can Pak create an upset?
Would you consider that as an upset?
I will.
If Pakistan beat India,
Yeah.
sure.
I will. Yes, and I've got my reasons to say that, and we can possibly go justify our answers. But is that okay for a poll?
Yeah.
Or that's too lopsided a poll?
No, we can definitely put
We
it
can
out.
definitely have a poll. I do agree that it might be an upset, but I don't
Would
see
you
it.
call it an upset?
Yes.
It's again,
I'll
I
call
want
it
to
an
ask this
upset
because
as well.
upset is a very strong term here.
Look, for two reasons, we'll call it an upset. One,
The record.
India
obviously.
have never lost to Pakistan for 31 years in this World Cup. So 31 years, if you beat them suddenly, and that too, the second reason, you're beating them in Ahmedabad, in home. That is why it will be a massive upset. Okay, 2012 you had won 2 games. Pakistan had won the bilateral series 2-1. But still, beating them in Ahmedabad, that too in a World Cup, is a massive upset. But it won't. That's another
That is
reason
not
I
something
think-
it's not something that you're not. That cannot happen. An upset should be someone like a Netherlands beating India or some.
No, I would say
anything like
even
that.
a Bangladesh beating New Zealand would be an upset.
Yeah, but Pakistan isn't that a little too much?
No,
calling
actually,
it an
not if
upset?
you look at not if you look at ODIs and where both nations are.
Yeah.
In T20Is, if Pakistan beat India, not an upset, because I do think the shortest format, big leveler. In ODIs though, I don't recall the last time it was a really close match. 3 maybe.
See, 2007 both games went down to the wire. Then only 2022.
Yeah, but then 7 was also T20s, no?
Yeah. You just had 3 very close T20 encounters. Otherwise, your last major close encounter that you had between India and Pakistan was 2014, Mirpur, 1 wicket. Where Afridi hit those 2 sixes or Ravichandran
Ashwin, there's 14, right?
That's it. You've not actually had. Others, if you look at World Cups, it's even worse.
Yeah.
11, it was a very comfortable win. 15, very comfortable win. 19, very
Ironically, that was
comfortable
the
win.
closest margin. 29 runs.
29.
Yeah, but 29 runs.
2003 was how many?
6 wickets. With 5
wickets.
overs to go.
He was comprehensive. Let's not kid ourselves.
yeah.
99 was okay, same lines, but then.
Tendulkar 98.
Of course, that was 2003. And that's where favorite India-Pakistan moments.
Memory, yeah. Let's go. Are we starting
Shashwat.
with Shashwat?
The 2011, I will pick a moment, not the whole match. The catch Virat Kohli took, which we ended up winning in the semi-final 2011.
Misbah.
Yeah.
Misbah catch?
Yeah. And then
that
they cut the
iconic
camera to Shoaib Akhtar, who was dropped in that game.
Of course.
And that reaction of his, that was something I clearly remember. I was
He never played after that New Zealand game that he
and he was very upset about that also. So just that after him taking the catch, cutting the camera to Shoaib Akhtar, that was like really.
Yeah. Harshit or Shane.
See, if you go moment, 2003 was my first World Cup, but I'm not going to pick that uppercut. Everyone's going to pick that. I would say that first over when India were chasing.
18 runs
Yes.
of Shoaib Akhtar.
Exactly, because at that point, remember, this is 2003 Akhtar. He was breathing fire and bowling 150 thunderbolts for fun. Then take 18 runs off him, and if I remember correctly, that match, if India had to win, it would have been their highest ever World Cup chase.
Yeah.
So for them to make a start like that aggressively, of course, you had Tendulkar and Sehwag, you always expected aggressive starts, but 18 runs of Shoaib, that first over, set the tone. After that, you were never losing.
Harshit,
For me as well, again, 2003, and I was 9 years old then. So still very young days, let's say, to register anything cricket. But yeah, had been following the game by
got to do
then.
anything with this?
Exactly. So it is got to do, of course, and there was no bigger figure, probably still isn't, than Sachin Tendulkar as far as the cricketing figure in the country is concerned. You had so much in the build-up, you were expecting India to do well, and of course Sachin was in that purple patch. But that Sachin Tendulkar dismissal, one that sparked a row of sorts, and Siddharth and I were talking about it yesterday, how as a kid I remember, around school with people around as well, you were contemplating whether, it took the elbow guard, whether it took the Sachin glove. That used to be the controversy there. Everyone was waiting for that Sachin 100 to happen. And it was only then, I think, that the nervous 90s had started to become a thing with
Because
Sachin.
he was cramping also. Remember
He was cramping,
that match?
yes, he was cramping as well, very rightly pointed out. So I think that's also my first cricketing memory, I would say as well. I I don't think I would remember NatWest that much.
I remember that match. That match was crazy.
India-England.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I remember shades of it, let's say. But yeah, this is one visual I think I saw live as a kid. Yeah.
No, NatWest I remember because I remember that match early on started. No, that was the end.
Flintoff.
Yeah, no, Flintoff, no. Ganguly. No,
Yeah, because Flintoff had happened earlier.
No, and Mumbai.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I remember that match because I remember flitting out of it. You're thinking they were 4 down.
5 down for 146.
Yeah, 5 down. I'm like, who are Yuvraj and Kef? Are they going to be standing up to at that point, what was a pretty fearsome England bowling lineup at home? It was a good bowling lineup, and I don't think
you had Tudor, Flintoff, Goff, and you had
probably
Irani, Giles.
Ronnie Irani, yeah.
Ashley Giles.
The most dibbly-dobbly of bowlers, Ronnie Irani.
Yes. He got
But he was shockingly effective. For someone who had
Giles
no
got
pace.
rid of Tendulkar.
I think Sachin went for a sweep.
He went for a slog, and I think he got rid of it.
Yeah, I remember slog sweep it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know that match because again that match what really stood out was grit. 300, mind you, 300 chases in those days were not the norm. So chasing down 326 was big. But yeah, India Pakistan, if you're going beyond, and we all mentioned ODI World Cups, I think other memories, the bowl out.
Oh yeah, 7.
Fun that
Double.
was. Yeah, that was fun. Of course, then Kohli's 2 sixes. Can't look beyond.
I'm just looking at ODI World Cup.
No, I went through.
So for me, slightly different. I mean,
99.
No. Every single time there is Miandad's 92. I mean, I've seen all the World Cup games ever since 1992. I remember each and every one of them very well. Because 92, because of the jersey colours that got me hooked into the game. And it was Tendulkar's 50 also at Sydney. And Kiran More and Javed Miandad, that epic kangaroo jump from Miandad. If you could get Miandad into that zone, you have done something special.
Yeah.
But for me, I will look at 1996 and 1999 for only one particular individual, Venkatesh Prasad. I mean, Amir Sohail was really going after him in that 96 match in Bengaluru. And Pakistan, in a chase of 289, were really scoring at a rate of close to 7.
They were going very well. Very, very well.
So, what happens is Sohail dances down the track and blasts Venkatesh Prasad to extra cover. And then he makes the mistake. I think caught up in that adrenaline and everything.
He said, I'm going to hit you there.
There only. He did this and I'm going to hit you there. Prasad then bowls one full delivery. Sohail goes for a cross-batted slog. Off stump is uprooted. Venki points it there. And that changed the entire match.
Peak of iconic send-offs.
Peak. And Venkatesh Prasad would hurt them 3 years later at the heights of extreme bilateral tensions. Because remember, the Kargil war was happening in 1999 and India-Pakistan was happening. There were plenty of protests as to why the match was about to happen. But Venkatesh Prasad took 5 for 27. The only Indian to take a 5-wicket haul. And India continued their dominance over Pakistan. As simple as that. So,
speaking of tensions back then, I think this match as well, and I want to hear opinions from you guys as well. Probably you guys can also chip in with your comments. Even this match, there was 99 that you cited, then 2011 also had shades of 2008.
2019 did as well. I remember there was a lot of controversy that they wanted the Pulwama attacks.
And now this time around as well, it is unfortunate, I would say, in many ways that every time this match sort of happens, there is some political tension in the background. Yesterday also I was checking, for the longest time, over the last 2 days in fact, boycott BCCI was trending, boycott India, Pakistan was trending on social media.
A lot of that also had to do with, it's a variety of reasons. One, as you mentioned, political
the way
tensions.
they welcomed the Pakistan.
And also the fact that you're having these full-on ceremonies for a lot of people are very critical of the fact that why are you having opening ceremony like performances now? Are you making it that blindingly obvious that only India, Pakistan is the big
my question, do you think if you were to take tensions aside, now unfortunately that has been the setting or that's been the backdrop of India-Pakistan match. It's been determined more by what's happening on the political front and on the front of, let's say, the defense forces. But if you were to take that out of the equation, is the rivalry still there on the field? Do you feel that sort of that sort of edge, that sort of fire, let's say, amongst the players? There is something called an on-field rivalry as well. Do you sort of sense that at the moment?
Now it's like, I do agree with that, but at that time at 99, the restrictions and the eyeballs on you in that sense weren't that many. Nowadays you have to be a little confined and inside a particular boundary, that you cannot be like that on the field the way you could have been in 99, because Now there are 10 people who are going to give their opinions on your thing, and it is something that you cannot do now. But at back then, there were the players didn't think that much about what their public perception is becoming. Now because of the brand deals and other things, the BCCI's rules and regulations, you have to be a little confined.
I do agree with him, because I think nowadays and I think a lot of players themselves have made that conscious choice not to keep it on field. They know they are still as driven. I don't think you can question that. They're still as driven as ever to be beating the opponent in whichever format it may be, whatever game it may be. But I think definitely now they're far more relaxed on-field demeanors. They don't quite reflect that, and I think that's for the better. I mean, it depends really which way you're looking at it, but I think there's enough heightened tension and hyperbole that justifiably surrounds this match without the players then making it bigger in terms of them having a go at each other. You don't really see that much, and also I think partly it's down to the fact that you don't quite frankly have the similar type of characters. Who in the Pakistan team right now comes across as being extremely chirpy? No one. India had Kohli, but even he's mellowed down. So back then you also had characters like if you had Harbhajan versus Shoaib, fiery characters who didn't back down. If you had Afridi versus Gambhir, also the same description can just be stuck carte blanche to both of them. I think it's down to how the players
also.
You
had Imran, all of them chirpy characters. So that's why.
Siddharth, your take?
See, you saw these visuals right from 2016 onwards, where the Indian and Pakistan teams had a very good relation on the field. For example, you might have remembered, Shane, that Virat Kohli was giving a bat right across the rope to Mohammad Amir. You remember that one particular scene in Eden Gardens. Then you had in the Asia Cup of 2022, you saw Shaheen, you had Babar, all interact very freely with the Indian players. He gave a gift to
Bumrah on the birth of
even 2022 as well. Even 2023, the Asia Cup, there was a free exchange between Indian and Pakistan players. So, whatever is the chirp is there on the field, it's mellowed down from what it was in 1999 or the early 90s or 2000s, okay? Plus Shane's thing also, that you don't have those characters anymore to add that spice on the field. But thirdly, I think, all the hyperbole and the tension is like what we got to know following the Mohammad Rizwan tweet. It's all there outside the field of play. Outside the field of play, all the social media trolls, the convenient cricket fans, they all will ensure that there is some kind of hated, not heated rivalry. Hated rivalry that is there. And 2019 was the crescendo, okay? The same fans were calling for a boycott of an India versus Pakistan game. But these were the same fans who cheered them on when India beat Pakistan. 2019 and even in 2023, if you remember, there was certain instances which did say that, okay, why should we have an India-Pakistan game? The protest from the BCCI this time around, let us make it very, very clear, is the shoddy mismanagement. Absolute shoddy mismanagement. Okay, I even showed Harshit that, I even showed you, Shane. 13th of October, New Zealand, Bangladesh. We tried looking for the tickets. It's full.
Yeah.
Where was the stadium full?
It was nowhere near full.
Where are the tickets? And your security agencies and everybody, there was just no coordination. Right hand didn't know what left hand wanted. That is why everything got rescheduled. The fans are there, credit to them. But I, as an Indian cricket fan, how I would look at it, I would never attend an India game in India because of the shoddy mismanagement. The protest is directed towards that. You just have a garb of India versus Pakistan, that you have to just let your frustrations off, go to social media and just do it. See, there are genuine concerns, yes. There are camps that genuinely believe, and not because of any kind of ideological bias or anything, but common sense also dictates that you shouldn't play Pakistan for reasons which we cannot discuss here. It can be a different debate altogether. But the protest this time directed at the BCCI, that's why there are a lot of trends happening, is because of the shoddy mismanagement. It's nothing else.
And even if you don't want to play Pakistan, my point is, I don't think that applies in an ICC tournament or a multi-nation tournament. The only time that would apply is in bilateral ties, which, to be fair, we haven't had for over 10 years at this point. There's been a decade where there has been absolutely no bilateral ties, and I can understand and respect that. Okay, you don't necessarily want to be giving any kind of a profit to a nation that you've had tensions with, which extend well beyond the cricket field. Fair. But in an ICC tournament, I think it's only fair that you go ahead and play, because at the end of the day, that is just how this is a tournament that is not organized by India, contrary to whatever else people might think. Neither is it organized by Pakistan. So you need to be, at least respect the sport which you are playing and be like, okay, fine, we're playing. If you're playing, then you should just leave it at that. However, that also doesn't happen because you see all the next level hype. They were on the host broadcasters yesterday in the first innings of the match between Bangladesh and New Zealand. There was a counter going on, 20 hours to go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, look.
are you really?
If you want to be consistent, with the political line of thought, then you have to make a statement in this bigger stage.
Then treat it like another match. But you're not.
You want the profits, whatever it is. See, bare minimum, if I may ask you gentlemen, the bare minimum could be 100 crores for this match. 100 crores?
Or you are massively underestimating.
Yeah.
I think I'm talking about 100 crores for slots of advertising in a game. That itself will be 100 crores. Maybe 500 to 700 crores for this particular game. That much is riding on it. Who will have the guts to bell the cat? No one will have the guts to bell the cat. That is the reason why.
My 2 cents on this whole thing about things happening off the field and whether things exist. I think it's not to do with cricket only. I think I see it with football also. Rivalries aren't the same anymore. And I'll probably put this on social media. I think social media has really turned things around. You don't see that kind of rivalry between England and Australia. Speaking of cricket, speaking of football, let's say I don't see the rivalry that we used to see, let's say between a Man United and a Liverpool or an Arsenal and Spurs. I don't see that kind of fire on the field anymore. The players, I think, have just largely just mellowed all across. Perhaps a sport here and there you could argue, but I think because of social media, you're being kind to everyone on social media, everything's out there.
Actually, I do think that's right because nowadays the amount of vitriol that people tend to get on social media, I think sports people, teams, whoever it may be, have taken a conscious decision to not poke the bear, which I think actually makes for a better product. But
exactly, I think Shane's really nailed the point here, which I was trying to get to as well, because I think we're witnessing a wave, and I completely am, let's say, I'm okay with that. But I think this whole bigger figure, bigger stature, mellow, peace out, zen, all of that, I think these catchwords are just there's a proper wave, let's say a global wave, when you want to build such characters and you want to pass on that message of there being a big figure, say no to fights and all of that. That in all of that, that fire on the field, that passion on the field has somewhat taken a backseat because again, such spirit and such statures are celebrated far more on social media. I feel.
Exactly.
yeah, because we all talk about boycott the Pakistan team. Yet every single place they go, it's not just boards that are giving them good welcomes. Fans also very eager to see them. So who are these faceless people who are sitting and abusing them on social media when the actual ground reality is very different?
The same faceless people will cheer the India-Pakistan match also.
Exactly. So then there goes
They are
your
never
boycott.
consistent with
There
whatever
goes your
it is.
boycott. There goes your talk of I'm not going to support this. Boss, you're watching, aren't you?
Yep.
You are supporting. The best way to not support is don't watch the match. But that
Anyway,
never
just
happens.
shifting tracks now. We're just about a couple of minutes away from the captains are in
What
the
do you
middle.
think? Win toss and bowl?
Exactly what I wanted to
100%
ask
bowl.
you guys.
Bowl.
The best chance Pakistan has is to bowl first because at this time it's a flat wicket. It is very hot in Ahmedabad. Only if they bowl bat first, get onto a good total is when under light Shaheen the ball would do something when Shaheen bowls. So that is their only chance if they has, because otherwise India is way ahead in this game.
But remember, under lights it could ease out also. Now.
Yeah, it
Not
could ease
good,
out.
it will.
But it's better to bowl second because under lights there are more chances. At this point, it's a flat wicket. The sun is beating on.
Actually, I do
and
think
it will be a flat wicket.
I think it will be interesting because according to what the pitch report is saying, Irfan is saying that early on in the first innings will be the best time to extract any swing. So I think whichever team, if they go by that, and actually going by conventional wisdom, you're up in the northern parts of the state, I would bowl first. Whoever wins the toss.
So, okay, who's won the toss? I think
It's Rohit.
It is Rohit Sharma. Rohit
And
Sharma
he will bowl.
Has to bowl.
has to be bowling. Rohit Sharma has to be bowling. Shubman Gill should be in. But surprisingly, gents, I see some empty seats.
Yeah.
Right
It'll fill
behind.
up.
It'll fill up over time. It'll fill up over time. You would know just how chaotic things are when it comes to entering a stadium in India.
Yeah.
True.
It is
They
that
have
easy.
opted to bowl.
No surprise.
No surprises, yes. And remember, in the 7 encounters, 6 India have won, while defending. One has only come by chasing.
But again, you have to remember
this is a new era.
Yeah, conventional wisdom would always say bat first, get runs on the board. But the modern day will always tell you, know what you're chasing.
And
You got the team
I
sheets?
think I
Yes,
might
sir.
have gotten the team sheets. Just wait a minute. Nah, not yet. I think I will get it soon.
Okay.
So I think we know what is the change. I think Shuman is coming in. Ishan
Ishan is going out.
And I think rest of the team remains
No,
the
no,
same.
no. Ashwin goes out.
No,
Ashwin didn't play, no?
Played in the previous over.
Shardul played.
So yeah, Shardul. Shardul stays.
Shardul stays.
Like he played in Delhi as well.
Exactly. So I think that is the only change that we have, unless others hear it on TV and then just tell us that okay, yeah, we cannot get bigger than this fantastic atmosphere. Going to experience something really extraordinary. I mean, yes, it was expected that in India games you would not have a crowd problem as far as filling up the stadium is concerned.
But I'll wait and watch to see how much the attendance is, because we've not had amazingly a single sellout up until this point. Which
And if this
baffles
game
me.
isn't a sellout,
Then
I
it's
doubt
a-
even if the World Cup final,
final
not
would
maybe.
If it doesn't feature India, you're done for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Not featuring India
No,
definitely.
the
won't be a
problem, as
sellout.
I have said, bigger stadiums, like how Melbourne suffers, even if there's 45-50, which is very decent, it will still look puny.
Because it's an 80K capacity.
Exactly,
And Maxi,
exactly.
that's what he said. He's saying it's a good track, not going to change much. Dew could be a big factor, and thus keeping that in mind, we want to bowl first. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, normally in Ahmedabad at this time you might get a bit of dew, but not so much. I mean, because remember it's hot. The winter season hasn't set in Ahmedabad at this point in time, and that's why you will see what's going to happen. And I'm still awaiting the teams. Why don't they send it as soon as possible? I don't understand. For all bilaterals, they send it quickly. For this particular game, they never send it.
They
on
don't send
time.
anything.
And I think what is the change? I think that's the only change. Gill in for.
If you're
Sure.
Pakistan, do you make any changes?
No change.
None, no?
None. Who will you get? That's your best lineup that you got.
Actually, and I would not drop. The only people I can think of dropping, unfortunately, are the two spinning all rounders,
Yeah.
which is either Shadab or let's say Nawaz. I would
Yeah.
keep Nawaz because you do need a left-hand variety.
Yes. So as confirmed,
Yeah,
Gill is
in.
back in place of Ishan, and
Yeah.
unfortunate for Ishan to be so, but it had to happen.
That was always going to happen. Ishan could have scored a 200 in the last game and he'd still be sitting out.
Confirmation made.
Confirmation's done, and that's the only change that we potentially have, because I think he didn't mention any other changes, so that's why only Gill in place of
It had to
Ishan.
be. It had to be.
Yeah, if he was fit, he had to come.
On this deck with not much of spinning assistance, you wouldn't play 3 spinners.
No, it would be hard. And especially an off spinner in a ground where you know you
Yeah.
can. It's not. It's a big stadium, but I've not seen anyone have problems clearing this ground.
Yeah. I mean, Conway and Ravindra were hitting sixes for fun.
We also wanted to bowl first.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Ravi Shastri is definitely pumped for the game.
I know. He's always
is for
When
pumped.
is he not pumped?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sin, can you mimic him? Maybe? Can you not?
Oh, first.
Huh?
I love that guy.
Can you do the kind of presentation that he does?
No, he's one of a kind in that regard. Too bombastic. Far too bombastic.
So let's see. Okay, this is the
Nah.
playing 11.
Gill,
Same.
Virat.
Rohit,
No
Shubman,
surprise.
Virat, Shreyas, KL, Hardik, Jaddu, Shardul, Bumrah, Kuldeep, and Siraj.
So you bat
many
until
people
number
were-
8. You've
Yeah.
got 2 spinners only. And of course, had to be Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah sharing the fast bowling
Yeah,
duties.
Pakistan no change. It
As
has to
expected.
happen because Usama Mir for this particular thing, nah.
No.
Exactly. So that's why
Plus,
Pakistan.
you can't drop Nawaz for Osama Bin. No, he's a direct replacement for Shadab, and I don't think you're dropping Shadab. I know his bowling has been off
He
kilter,
has taken a hit.
but his batting is still very decent lower down the order.
Yes, just to run you through the Pakistan 11 as well. We know you would be well versed with it just as much as we are. But again,
You got Abdullah Shafi,
no harm.
superb knock. I think he was a difference maker in the previous
Yeah.
game.
He, by the way, scored his first international 50 against India in the Asia Cup recently.
Yeah.
So he's been in
Scored a
form
100 on his
since
World Cup
then.
debut.
He scored a ODI World Cup century as well the other day. So Abdullah Shafiq will be opening along with
Imamullah, big
in at,
game for Babar Azam because
in
he's
at
never
number
done
3. Babar Azam hasn't scored runs
against India.
India and in the last 2 games as well.
Yes.
He's had a dry spell. At number 4, you'll have Mohammad Rizwan, South
One
Also
Shakil.
coming off a good match.
And
mind you.
Saud Shakil, another crucial knock that he had played that day with Mohammad Rizwan. If the car can give you that X factor, some hits lower down the order, you got Shadab, you got Mohammad Nawaz, Hassan Ali. Remember, Hassan Ali's spell in the death overs was the big difference. And remember, had he not taken those 4 wickets and had Pakistan not restricted Sri Lanka to only 44 runs in 8 overs, you would have probably seen them lose that game for the
Correct,
first time
correct,
ever. Then
absolutely.
you got Shaheen and Haris Rauf. So let's see how it goes. And Shaheen, remember, under lights,
Anything can happen.
anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
But I think the pitch might ease out. Maybe first 4 or 5 overs you may see some swing and this thing.
But that new ball again, under lights, you expect things to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
For a tad bit.
Yep. And remember what happened the last time that India chased versus Pakistan in an ODI? Well, this is what happened. 2003, Centurion.
Yeah.
Saeed Anwar scored a century and some late exploits ensured that Pakistan reached 273. In came Sachin Tendulkar and 98 glorious runs, aided of course by a drop that Abdul Razak did. Razak dropped him, and a brilliant 50 from Yuvraj Singh, a very underrated 35 from Mohammad Kaif, remember? Because when Sehwag and Ganguly fell quickly, at that time it needed a stable hand, and that's where Kaif came in, Mohammad Kaif. Yuvraj Singh 50, Rahul Dravid, the head coach now, he hit 44 of 76 and he pulled Waqar Yunus for a boundary that sealed the win. And that's what happened when you chased the last time. So even the last, if you look at in the modern era recently when India chased versus Pakistan, 18, both were very comfortable wins, 8 and 9 wickets. You chased it pretty easily. The only time you failed to chase, 17 Champions Trophy final. That was the thing. So that's why India have chosen to bowl in Ahmedabad. And remember, the previous game that happened in Ahmedabad, England versus New Zealand, it was a belter. It eased off and New Zealand chased 280 in just 36 overs.
Exactly.
And if you look at T20s, India chased against Pakistan in Melbourne. So
okay, let's now talk about matchups. Let's say it'll be interesting to see who sees where things go.
He did a special video, so let the guy.
I did like a key battle of sorts. So because I think for Rohit, and considering actually if you're batting first, look for Abdullah Shafiq and Imamul Haq, pretty big game because of course whilst Abdullah Shafiq comes in, World Cup debut makes it none. I don't think there's going to be that many eyes on him or Imam because again Imam, his problem is what, strike, right? So actually if you look at their batting, for me Babar, the key really will be Kuldeep. Remember 2019 dismissed him with an absolute corker, and Babar is someone who is actually okay playing pace. His problem really comes when he's playing a wrist spinner.
I would add one more factor in this: Babar versus Hardik Pandya, because it was
Hardik Pandya who corker. I remember
in Colombo,
Asia Cup.
It's the Woodland area, nip back in top of the off
stump.
Couldn't
as perfect as it can get.
So probably the best or the second best delivery of the Asia Cup.
Yep.
For the
Of
Indian
course,
bowlers,
Shaheen delivery I think was a standout as well.
To Rohit.
That's the other one. I think Shaheen Rohit. If Rohit can survive Shaheen early on, you're good. The problem is just that you remember Asia Cup, he set him up beautifully. 2 outswingers and then pulls one back in.
But if Rohit settles down on this wicket, it's going to be
Exactly.
I think for Pakistan, I don't think Virat Kohli is that big a worry. I think Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma is a bigger worry because Virat, you expect him to score anyway. The problem with Rohit Sharma is from the opposition perspective. You know, if he gets going, not only is he getting you runs in double quick time, but he's scoring big as well, and that's the problem. If he's, let's say, even getting 80, he's getting those 80, if he survives those 15 deliveries at the start, he's giving you those 80 runs in about 50 odd deliveries. And if he crosses the 80 mark as well, let's say even if he gets to 100, he can get those 30, 40 extra runs in about 10 deliveries once he gets going. So that's going to be the big thing, and that's where I think the onus will be on both Haris and Shaheen to be able to put the brakes on Rohit Sharma.
For me, another battle is going to be between Haris Rauf and Virat Kohli.
Absolutely.
Of course.
You know Haris is going to be just a little bit extra motivated after what happened in Melbourne.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, that match was wrapped up if Kohli didn't hit.
And I think he didn't do anything in Colombo also, if I'm not mistaken.
Because he was taken off for precautionary purposes.
He was injured. He was injured.
The one, actually in that regard, even Haris will be key against, always assuming, Shreyas.
Yes.
You are going to target him with short balls, but although I do think he's gotten much better in that regard, but I do think that will exactly be what they will look to target him with, because Shreyas murders spin. Also, another key battle, Rizwan versus Bumrah. Because with Rizwan, what he does is he tends to bat deep and absolutely murders spinners.
Yeah.
There is not any kind of spin he has a problem
Which is why I
against.
was going to say that how he plays against Kuldeep, because he's
Kuldeep,
going to be
yeah.
batting in the middle overs.
Rizwan
let's
is
not
generally
forget.
not talked about much, but he's the one who ends up creating problem.
That's the thing with him, because
bowling.
he's
because
again
you're the one. Babar and Imam are the ones who you end up talking about.
Rizwan, actually, you know, the problem with him is he's not what you call a stylish player.
Yeah.
Babar has that class about him. Rizwan is very, very gritty.
Yeah,
and he has obvious weaknesses. You know for a fact, you bowl him outside off stump, half the time he will struggle when he's not set. But somehow he, with that limited technique, makes runs.
Yeah.
Although, if
and
I
that's
may
exactly
add-
what matters at the end of the day.
Although, if I may add, in that Sri Lanka game, Rizwan's offside play had improved.
No, it has improved. There's no two ways about it. But we know that he's predominantly that.
Yeah, he's a bottom-handed leg side player.
Yeah, he's very much like that. But I think that also does help him a lot against spin.
Yeah.
And his offside problems come mostly early in his innings.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you look at they were just showing his stats. He's been, since in 2023, against left-arm orthodox spin, he's only been dismissed once.
Yeah.
And he's striking it at 100.
I think
So, he does
the
play
guy,
left-arm spin well.
The left-arm spin who dismissed him, I think, was Jaddu, if I'm not mistaken, in Colombo. I think it was him.
Okay, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Okay, Pakistan, if you look at their playing 11, Abdullah Shafiq, Imam ul Haq, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, and remember, they have batting until number 8 because Nawaz and Shadab can also tonk a few.
Actually, I will say,
Even Hassan Ali can.
you know, that's the thing. Actually, they have tonkers at Hassan Ali and Shahid
Shaheen,
Afridi.
yeah.
Because
Shaheen
again,
Afridi.
Shadab and Nawaz are proper batters,
Yeah,
and I dare say
yeah.
I trust them more than their top order right
So
now.
they are, by the way, batting till
More
number
than an
9.
Imam.
They are batting till number 9.
You can say 10 with Shaheen.
Shaheen, again.
I think we
He
are
can give
giving
you that extra
both of
10
them
runs, which could be
I think
very
we are giving
crucial.
both Hassan and Shaheen far too
No,
respect.
Hassan Shaheen are your Shami types.
Yeah.
That they'll snag a couple and then get out. But those
But
couple.
Shadab, I do consider him as a
Shadab is a proper batsman.
He is right now a better bat than a bowler.
Exactly. Him and Nawaz.
Is he going to go down the Steve Smith route? I'll become a better bat, forget leg spin.
How old is he
But
now? 25?
Yeah, I think he should.
He can actually convert to a proper batter.
I'm not too sure if age should be a matter for
Yeah,
most
exactly.
people across the border.
Iftikhar is a classic case of it indeed.
He's same age as Kohli.
He's younger than Kohli.
No, same age. 34.
34.
Chalo, and
Allegedly.
In case you're wondering what the India 11 is, right there on your screen, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill will be the openers. Virat at number 3, Shreyas at 4, KL at 5, Hardik at 6, Jaddu at 7, 8, Kuldeep Yadav.
Actually,
9,
no, you'd have Shardul at 8.
Shardul at 8, 9, yes, that changes. And of course, you expect Shardul to be coming in before. So 8 Shardul, 9 Kuldeep, number 10 Jasprit Bumrah, and number 11
Mohammad
Siraj. And yep, it's the ideal 11 that you had expected. Because see, Ishan, if Shubman Gill was fit, he was anyway coming in for Ishan only. You were not going to say, oh, okay, let's promote someone to open and then get somebody else in. No.
Correct.
Let us make one thing very clear here. It is Shardul / Ashwin.
That's your only
Every time.
rotation, barring injuries.
Barring injury.
barring injury.
Otherwise, it is Siraj / Shami. That's it.
But that too, when you're looking at resting
Yes.
Siraj
Or
or
someone
Bumrah as well, I believe at some point Bumrah will be rested.
Shami.
That's when you see Mohammad Shami come into play. But as we build up and we're just about 15 minutes short of action to begin,
Stadium
let's
is
start with
pretty-
some of the questions maybe. And we'll try taking most questions and bear with us in case we're not able to take all those questions. Absolutely flooded with all your comments at the moment, but we'll try answer most of those
Anurag
questions.
Chauhan is like saying, team which fields well today will win the match because pressure makes you make mistakes while fielding.
On that note, congratulations, India.
Yeah. Although Pakistan's fielding did improve, ground fielding I'm saying, catches is, since creation they have never done.
Bringing the trophy out.
Is a certain Sachin.
Wait, why do you need to bring the trophy out now?
By the way, it's happening for the second time. This
Yeah,
happened at the
same
opener
thing.
as well.
Yeah.
So basically, they're recreating the opening ceremony which they had in mind, and they're doing it again. So Sachin again is walking out with the trophy.
I mean,
as
face
he-
palm.
same.
Face palm. I mean, I agree with the sentiment. Fine, the crowd will get a lot of cheer. There's a lot of eyeball moments that you would want, but face palm. Why?
Yeah.
So much of open expression for just name it. Don't name the ICC World Cup. Name it the ICC India-Pakistan Cup, yeah. Name it. Don't name it the World
Okay,
Cup.
Siddharth, that's what the fans want.
Fans.
No fans, I doubt fans want this. I'll be honest with you.
I think, see, again, going by all the social media trends, I agree that there is a section that's not particularly looking at such a big hyperbole being made out of the match. But I think there's a larger chunk out there looking at the national sentiment and whatnot.
Sentiment.
There is. People do associate this match with a certain sense of national sentiment.
You
as
cannot. There is only one thing which is a sentiment, and that is the sentiment of inconsistency. The Indian fan is the most inconsistent and the most convenient lot that is there, because they are the same guys on social media who will say boycott India Pakistan, but they'll come.
But they'll cheer.
But you have to understand, most of these boycott people are also faceless guys as well.
But even there, the crowd is facing.
Are there any boycott India Pakistan banners outside the stadium? Those who wanted to make their voice heard.
They can't.
Again, these are faceless people. They will never come out in the public.
They can't for two reasons. One, they'll be conveniently censured there. One. Second, political statements, you can either land in jail. Simple. That's the situation.
Boycotting a match is...
You have to make a statement somewhere in that sense, and that's where India's never done. That's why you're in this catch-22 situation when it comes to this. So let us be happy with the fact, okay, India versus Pakistan is there, number one. The opening ceremony, this kind of special ceremony is being done.
I don't like this.
Because you are now on a God's prayer to save this World Cup. That is the reason why you have placed all your bets on India-Pakistan.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
But the celebrity show, is it in the middle?
It's done. Yeah, there is two performances in the middle.
It's done?
I think Arijit...
No, there is a...
No, the one that had to be done.
Arijit,
Beforehand one is done.
It's done?
But there is a couple of performances also in the mid innings.
I think Arijit might perform in the mid.
I don't remember. I don't care.
I've not seen him though yet. I don't know what's happening though.
That's the situation. So that's why.
See, our mid innings will be joining our family members, and I prefer that rather than having to watch some trumped up performance.
I mean, look, this was bound to happen. If Asia Cup tested the limits of fairness and all these kind of things, what are
No,
fairness?
at least here, sporting integrity is not being compromised.
Thankfully for that.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Small mercies, let's
Small
say.
mercies.
So anyway, we've taken that comment. We can exit it now. It's
We can
okay.
exit and see what other of our family members are saying about it. Remember, can Pak cause an upset? No is 67%. Overwhelmingly are saying no. Yes, there is 33% at this point in time.
Fair enough. It's not like you're looking at an opponent which
Yeah,
can't
but I see.
challenge you.
I understand. A lot of those will also be down to nerves. Because there are genuinely people who do have that feeling, and especially I think you've seen, remember, a lot of Indian fans have not been that confident against Pakistan post 2021. Because in 2021 you didn't lose to Pakistan, they thrashed you.
Yeah.
And ever since then, there's always been that fear that you'll have that one collapse which will send the cat among the pigeons and give Pakistan an easy total.
Yep, that is the situation. So King D is saying BCCI is putting more pressure on Indian team. Really?
No, I don't think this adds anything to the Indian team. Look, they are very good at... That's not the point.
Yeah,
That's not the point.
So that is the situation. King D, we are not even imagining that. That's for 8 hours later.
See, whatever happens, you know where it is to come to discuss everything.
Exactly. And remember, if that happens, the sun will rise tomorrow and we'll be back here.
Exactly.
Life moves on, my friend. We can't stay in the past and all these kind of things. Dex, what is your statement?
Go slightly up. I'm sure he made some comment.
He made some comment, but it's gone. It's swamped in the entire thing.
Exactly.
Dex.
Can't really see it. Nah.
Where is it, Dex?
Anyway, let it be.
Okay. So, GGK is saying we can't expect every Indian to support India, especially
come
again,
on.
Sanju.
Leave Sanju out of it.
See, it's GGK, it's done. Sanju,
This is where you have
better
to
luck
be-
in 2024.
This is where you have to be like what Sunil Gavaskar had said. Don't look at players who are not there.
Yeah.
Support the team.
Support the team.
The
Exactly.
stadium isn't that full.
It will come, it will fill up later towards the
See,
evening.
two
and
things.
all.
One, of course, the news of India batting second has travelled.
Yeah.
Second, the fact that there were anyway people, who were anyway looking at being there just in the second half. I know people who are doing screenings and all today, and they're only meeting, let's say, for the second half cricket. And that didn't have to do much with the toss also, because you're looking at 8-9 hours.
No, and that too, heat.
Heat also is a factor, but yeah, there are some stands over there that's completely glut with Indian supporters. There are some Pakistan supporters, by the way, lucky few who managed to get the ticket and the visa more so. By the way, that video is up on social media, on all our social media platforms. So check that out. There are some lucky fans as well from Pakistan who managed to
Exactly.
make it.
Good question, by the way, from Shreyansh Pudupedi, who says, what is the par score for this pitch? 350.
Yeah.
Anything less than that and you aren't winning.
You aren't winning it, yeah. Because see, we thought even Kotla, when they said 350 is a par score, Afghanistan did show that they were 90 to 100 runs short of that deck.
Exactly.
Because they chased it down in 34 overs, India. 34 or 35, I'm not
That
sure.
was a batting masterclass.
And remember, now India might get the better of the conditions towards the evening time. So for Pakistan, they will have to do what they did against Sri Lanka, notch up a similar kind of a score. Otherwise, India is just running away with this match. Unless the pitch throws a different googly altogether. It isn't a 300-350 kind of a wicket.
No, everything about even in the this thing was saying that it's an absolute bluster of a wicket.
And see, when again, as I said, when did we see an India or a Pakistan player before even coming, they are interacting and jovial.
Just having a laugh and joke.
Could you have thought 90s and the 2000s this was possible? That's where the edge is lacking on the field. But off the field, there is a bit of heat. So that's why.
Yeah. King D is saying that the crowd was going Babar during the toss.
That's always going to happen.
But I'm pretty sure if crosses a certain level, you expect the likes of Rohit and Virat. Virat, we saw what we did the other day. I'm pretty sure he's going to send out a message to the fans.
I mean, if that.
And I don't see any reason why Babar should be booed.
I mean, if that is the case.
Small section of the.
No. If that is the case, it's disgraceful behavior.
No way.
I mean, see, you can make a statement. Babar is one guy who's not made any controversial say. In fact, he's been very respectful of the Indian cricket team. He's always appreciated.
I think it's only down to the fact that he's the Pakistan captain. Simple as.
Yeah, it's just
else.
about booing the opposition.
Yeah.
Just let's say in a way of expressing hostility.
But again, made up hostility. I mean, see, I can understand if Babar had made a very controversial statement that, oh, this Indian cricket team can't play cricket. They will be very scared against us. If they had made a statement, then every right he should be booed. But he's been very non-controversial about it.
No, it would be a very small section that would be doing it for other reasons, of course.
Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear the booing. And
For India,
For obvious reasons. So Satish Bay is saying that I feel the Ashes is the mother of all battles. India-Pakistan bit overhyped, his opinion. That is the view of a neutral cricket fan. It will always be one-sided. I agree. Ashes is the mother of all battles. This is the battle of all mothers.
I mean, see, again, Ashes, yet again, it's got nothing to do with the Asian ethos also. Because see, you can appreciate it, but it's test cricket.
No, but also I think when we are looking at it, see, there are two different types of rivalries, Satish. You have rivalries that are motivated by political or off-field tensions, and you have rivalries that are motivated by sport.
History, yeah.
Cricket, as far as pure cricketing rivalries, nothing beats
the Ashes.
But if you're looking at it when it comes to political tensions and stuff like that, then yes, India-Pakistan is there because it is rivalries beyond just the field.
See, cricket-wise, it's a terrible rivalry. But off the field, it's a spicy rivalry. Because of whatever has happened.
But the Ashes still has that spark in it.
Yeah, because it's a sporting rivalry, no? It doesn't matter what happens within the public or, bilaterally wise.
But most rivalries have been for, territorial reasons or political reasons. Most rivalries across sport, if you will see.
In fact, England and Australia does have it. I mean, lest we forget, Australia still technically recognizes the British.
It's the Commonwealth.
Exactly.
I think one more point. I think this is the only sporting rivalry that connects these two nations. When their political tensions are all time high, no Bollywood or music industry relations from them. There's only sport when these two countries face each other off
on
international stage. So I think that's all the more reason that this rivalry becomes one of the most important rivalry in as far as Ashes and India-Pakistan is concerned.
I mean, see, there is a deep cultural connect also. I mean, see, England and Australia have been playing for 150 years, shared lineage. Plus, if you are an Australian citizen, it's very easy for you to get even British citizenship also.
Exactly.
It's been part of the
Commonwealth.
So that's why India and Pakistan, I mean, that's a rivalry that was born since 1952 when the first time the teams met. It became World Cup you first played in 1992 when it started in 75.
Yeah.
85 was the first time you had a big world stage event when India and Pakistan met in the final, Benson and Hedges World Series.
Yeah.
It was, I think, second edition 79 when you were looking at both of these. No, it was 86.
85. 85. Benson and Hedges. World
Benson,
Series.
yeah.
85.
Where I think both lost in the semis.
Finals. India beat Pakistan in the final.
No. I'm talking about the World Cup.
That's 87.
87. Both lost in the.
India lost to England, Australia beat Pakistan
exactly.
in Lahore.
So you wanted one rivalry and got the other?
Got the other. You were hosting it in India. You were looking at making this a big event. You put them two in the other groups.
By the way, it was the first tournament outside of England. It was big.
Exactly.
And the
75,
first time from 60 you went to 50 overs. It was 50 over contest, remember, in 87. So that is why. But don't be saddened by some empty seats. It will fill up towards the later part, evening and all that.
Even I was to point at that out. I think the stadium is still half empty and something.
It will fill up.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
People will come later on. They also know
Many
India
people
batting
want to see
second.
India batting.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that
Because you want to see Rohit and Virat bat.
So do you think the decision is right?
Yeah.
It is
Happening
right.
to both,
Always.
including Shardul, then Ashwin, and
I
There
think
never
on
gonna
this
be any
wicket
doubt.
you needed
Placid
Never
track,
gonna
you're
be
not
any
taking
doubt.
an off spinner.
not too much of spin.
It's a flat wicket.
And
Gill is
dimensions
back.
also.
Do you think he's 100% fit from that 99 yesterday?
No, I don't. Do you know why? Because I was reading reports that in the warm-up, he was only warming up at low intensity, and then as everyone's warm-up intensity ramped up, he went back into the dressing room. So I think he's really preserving himself.
Exactly. I think the idea would have been to,
That weakness is there, and you can see that in his warm-ups.
He's in his face also, yeah?
Yesterday, the footage of him returning to the hotel, you could see that he still is.
I don't know if it's just with me, let's say, knowing that, he's coming out of illness, he looks a little lean to me.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you this much. When you have, and I've had dengue years back, you lose your appetite. So you don't eat a lot, and then when your body is fighting, and I remember I reached a point where I was almost hospitalized and my face sunk. Yes. So I can understand entirely what it is he's been through.
He'd be very pumped to play this game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it at least takes you 3 weeks to get
2
back
weeks
to normal.
it took me to get back to normal.
Because you are so weak in that recovery period that you're so weak that you cannot even walk properly.
Exactly, it took me 2 weeks.
Pain in your lower
Yeah,
back.
2 to 3 weeks it takes you to get back on your feet.
You can't exert weakness.
4 weeks it took me. I had in November 2021.
So they have rushed.
They have rushed.
But I don't think we know. By the way, there were so many media reports that went wrong as to when he was hospitalized, when he came out of hospital.
Yeah.
So we don't quite know when exactly did he get dengue. That's also a point to be considered.
Contention,
He
yeah.
in Rajkot, right?
He didn't play in Rajkot.
I also feel that even
Nahi, Bumrah will bowl the first over. Yeah. Bumrah.
Who did you think was holding?
If the ball was passed to Hardik, so he's just.
No, I mean, to be fair, Hardik does sometimes share the new ball. You don't know.
I think he'll be first in. I think no one's going to.
Don't you think Mohammad Shami should have been included?
The leading wicket taker in the IPL
Highest
here.
wicket taker in the IPL, the same home ground.
No.
As far as the IPL team is concerned.
I get your point. Point well taken. But then you'd only be dropping Siraj. I don't think is droppable.
Siraj, one bad game. I don't.
You're
think
not
he
dropping
can.
him for that. No.
And Bumrah and Siraj, it's always Shami / Siraj.
But I think
Or
today
Bumrah
is a
slash
test.
Siraj.
Today is again, I think, a test for Mohammad Siraj. The other day at flat deck as well, he's
Very
struggled.
surprisingly.
70 odd runs, I think.
76.
76 of 9 overs.
I just want to see how he operates at another flat deck, because we know what Shami can do and where Shami has his frailties, let's say, as a bowler. Today, let's just see how he would operate today, because I think India would want to just have some answers in place. Like you said for Ashwin, you know what he offers, you know what Shami offers as well.
No, and it was very surprising to see Siraj struggle in Delhi. He's been bowling so much on these kind of decks.
Yeah, I mean, he
And
plays
it was
his
rather
IPL.
one off day.
He plays his IPL career in Bangalore.
It was just
Come
an
on.
off day. And
That's not just a flat deck, it's also a small stadium.
Okay, so
It is Bumrah.
It's Bumrah. 2 slips in place and
Quick spot.
lock and loaded. And
Quick.
For all
quick
what we had hoped
score.
for 1 year build up, it's come to this. Folks.
Yeah, let's do score predictions.
Score
Score predictions very quickly,
Shashwat.
starting with
Shashwat.
Shashwat.
3-10.
I think 270 to 80.
Okay, Arshad.
I'm going to go with the Pakistan 291.
Okay.
291. 285.
325 India win.
Oh, so
No one's doubting that.
3-10 India wins.
Yeah.
So I'll keep pick a figure. It's 273 and India win.
Obviously, no one's going to go against the grain. 285 India are winning. It's 8-0 loading.
Absolutely. So, thank you guys for joining us. We enjoyed this coverage. Obviously, plenty to talk about, and there will be plenty to talk about in the mid innings. So, join us then. Of course, if you enjoy our work, please don't forget like, share, subscribe, tap that bell, leave us a comment. Of course, follow us on social media. Download the Sports app right now. Though, from who all is here, there is Shashwat, Saransh, Harshit, Sidvi, and me, Shane. It's bye bye.
Yeah.
Stay tuned though. Plenty
Not
coming.
one out here. All are S, he's only H. Like how I'm the odd one out in color.
Yeah.
This guy is odd one out in name.